My name is Rockland Bowlby from Draper, Utah. It was actually my son-in-law that contacted me, and he had looked into money that he had supposedly found on unclaimed property and from the state, and it was simple that he just said, well, everybody should be trying this in our family, and I actually was kind of like, well, why would they have my money? The state, why would the state have my money? And they'd say, well, there's this money that's unclaimed that goes through companies or, from different organizations that, just don't return it to you. And sometimes I notice, like there's insurance companies that don't, you don't use all your insurance from like your mortgage insurance. And so they have to, reimburse you for that. So anyway, I just kind of just thought, oh, I'll try it. And so I looked on unclaimed property .gov, and it went and just directed me right to my cash, .gov from the state of, Utah, which obviously was a state site. So that was, good enough for me because, there's lots of scams out there. So obviously it directed me right to the state because it's the .gov. And so I just entered my name, and there's not too many Rockland Bowlbys out there, Rockland Guy Bowlbys. And so I just entered the name, and it said, there's $250 over $250 on one claim. And there was over $250 on another claim, which, that's a good significant amount of money for anybody. So I submitted my name, and they sent me an email, and then they needed to have, your driver's license and your social security number, and a proof of my properties that I used to live at and own. Anyway, submitted that off, and in 1 week I had an email that said, congratulations for, submitting this information to us. You have two claims out there, one for like $4,000 and one for $600. And I'm like, what? I couldn't believe it. I was like, okay. And, first I didn't really believe it. And I just said, well, I'll just let this play out and just see if this is going to be for real and how much it is. And so a week later, I got a confirmation that the money was being sent within a week, and I got the check and check. So I got $4,600 and $4,689.11. And the proof to show that I got it. So I was so surprised that I kind of needed that money to go and on a trip to Italy to see my son. I haven't seen him. He's in the Air Force right now. And so I haven't seen him for over 2 years. Oh, no. I mean, all I just to do is just take a photocopy of my driver's license and my social security number and prove that I had property that with that address on it for the two claims that I had. And that was easy to do. So I just took a photocopy of that and submitted with the envelope and the address they provided. And away it went. And 1 week later, I had a check. Well, probably because there's so many scams out there, I think that's probably why a lot of people are, skeptical. And so, all they have to do is just go to the website. It's pretty legit when you're talking about the state treasury. So, just go and you have nothing to lose. That's the biggest issue, I guess. You have nothing to lose to go check. Just go on the website, put your name in, and see if you've got anything that's unclaimed. That's not that tough. You have 2 minutes before you can just have your name in there and your address, and it'll pop up with your name or names like yours, and you just check your name off and see if there's a claim for you. Yeah, I mean, I've contacted my family already, my daughter, and so my son's he's in Italy right now, but I'll definitely, anybody that I talk to now, they can't believe it. I was just down there showing my friend the check. He says, I want to see the checks to prove it, and I'm like, well, there it is. So you can't dispute evidence. And he's like, well, I'm checking for sure. Well, I'm a prime example of that because my son-in-law searched for me, and since he knew there was not very many Rockland Guy Bowlbys in the in the state of Utah, he saw my name pop up right away, just checking quickly for me. And then he says, "Hey, did you know that you have some unclaimed property called cash? It's over $250 twice in there." I'm like, "What?" So I mean, think about that. I mean, he helped. I mean, I called him and thanked him up and down. I'm taking them and my daughter to dinner and everything because of this. Because I mean, I would have never checked it again, but he checked it for me.